Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It is Sunshine Lorena and today I'm going to be reviewing A Man Called Ove. So I recently read A Man Called Ove and I think this is just a fantastic book, but I'm going to bring you a spoiler-free book review of thoughts, feelings, what's it about, plots, themes, etc. So first of all, let's speak about the plot. So before I just get into that, I found that the description on the back, sure, it gives you information about the book, but it doesn't give you everything that I feel like you should know in order to make sure you know what you're getting into. This has been adapted into a film. It's starring Tom Hanks and it's called A Man Called Otto, and on that description it does give you these few extra details which I do think is really key, like I said, to actually know what you're getting yourself into when you're picking it up, because you kind of need to know a little bit of trigger warnings with this one. So the story revolves around the life of Ove. It's actually pronounced Ove. I said Ove before, I found out that it's Ove. And he is a grumpy and stubborn old man who has recently lost his wife. He is a stickler for the rules and has a deep disdain for modern society chaos. Throughout the book, we follow Ove's journey as he tries to end his own life multiple times, only to be interrupted multiple times by his new neighbours who are persistent on trying to befriend him. As the story progresses, we discover Ove's hidden depths, his warm heart, and the reason behind his grumpiness. The plot is filled with lovely, heartwarming moments, unexpected friendships, and a touch of humour that keeps you engaged from the beginning to end. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit more details about the different characters that we have within this. Obviously, Ove is our main protagonist. He's a complex character with a heart of gold beneath his gruff exterior. We see glimpses of his life through flashbacks within the book. It kind of alternates between flashbacks and the present time, and this helps to unravel the layers of his personality and for us to understand his motivations and just generally who he is as a person. We also then have some secondary characters who are just as important as Ove, one of which is Pravina, and she is the new neighbour. She is a young pregnant woman who is Iranian, and she's moved there with her husband and their two daughters. And her and her family bring a breath of fresh air into Ove's life, although he is quite resistant throughout the book of her attempts with her family to try and befriend him and do different bits and pieces and actually be neighbourly and help each other out. We also have Ove's friend in this, who is Rune, who adds a lot of charm and nostalgia to the story, especially when we're looking at those flashbacks of the life before our present kind of timeline. Each character within this is beautifully crafted and written by Backman. He really does know how to build characters that you are gonna like and really kind of connect and get to know. He really brings depth to them that really enhances the narrative in this book, and also the way they interact with each other. So he's done a fantastic job at writing these different characters. It's not just Ove, it's also those kind of sub-characters, the supporting ones within this that really make up the story and help us kind of build this wonderful book. And then I'm also just want to speak a bit about the themes that get covered within this. As you've probably kind of been able to see from what I've told you so far, there are elements of grief and loss covered in this, and also you see the human capacity for change as well. Obviously there is those elements of suicide that are covered, so that is a trigger warning. Through Ove's struggles and his relationships with others, we can see how one's perspective can be changed dependent on those people that you're interacting with. Within this, Backman has beautifully illustrated the importance of human connection and the impact that it can have on an individual's well-being as well, which I think is really important to kind of cover off and discuss, and he's did a fantastic job at kind of showing us through the story of Ove. Overall, I think that this is such a heartwarming and touching story that really resonates with the readers when you pick it up. It's a well-crafted plot, there are relatable characters as well, and powerful themes make this book a must read. I highly recommend picking up a copy of this. For me, this was 5 stars. I connected with this in such an amazing way, and this actually, for me, so far this year is my favourite book of the entire year, and it's going to be one of my all-time favourites as well. It is 5 stars. It was such a refreshing read, just seeing those connections of human connectivity, and it got to me, guys. It got to me like here. I may have sobbed at this as well at times. Like, I've never been so emotionally impacted by a book. That by and large is down to the writing of Backman and how he builds his characters and really develops them to enhance this plot. It's just, yeah, incredible. I will definitely be picking up other Backman books. I recommend this one. Like I said, as I've covered off the themes and the plot, you'll see that there are certain trigger warnings, just so you know what you're getting yourself into, but I highly recommend picking up a copy of this. For me, it completely lived up to the hype and more. I never expected to be so impacted by this book and to love it so much. So yeah, I highly recommend picking this up and then watching the film afterwards. It's a good adaptation. It doesn't cover off everything that is in the book, but that normally happens, as we all know, because they have limited time. But they definitely have captured most of the points, but I still feel like there's a couple bits and pieces that were needed for the film. I have seen that there is a Swedish film that came out before the English adaptation, so at some point I need to try and find a copy of that with English subtitles, because I want to see how the Swedes did it and if it's a better adaptation. But that's it for my review. Thank you for joining me and watching along for this. Let me know if you're going to pick up a copy after you've watched my review, and don't forget to comment. If you don't know what to comment, just even an emoji of your choice is enough for me to know that you are here. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any more content from me, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!